I wash my face once a day only.
Dermatologist Dr. Dray just published her nighttime skincare routine on YouTube, and I was about this close to clicking on the notification. I was like, no wait, I'm gonna react to this. So today we're gonna watch this together, and I'm excited to learn a thing. For those who don't know or are new here, hello! My name is Cassandra Bankson. I've been in the skincare industry for over 10 years, and I've personally suffered with acne for over 15 years, which is a boatload of bacterial fun. I'm a licensed esthetician, specifically a medical esthetician, meaning that I have worked underneath, alongside, and with dermatologists and skincare experts. That being said, I am not a dermatologist or physician myself, but I do love analyzing, scrutinizing, and learning from other people's skincare routines, which is why I'm excited to learn a thing or two about dermatologist Dr. Dray's skincare routine tonight. I watch a lot of her videos, so I know her favorite sunscreen, but that's what she uses in the day, and I haven't been totally keeping up on content, so I'm excited to see what we're doing before bed. Dr. Dray always has her tea or her coffee or her mushroom something whatever adaptogens, so I've got my green tea. Let's get going. Oh, first we got an ad. It's Dr. Dray. I'm gonna watch that ad. We are very naked.
Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to share with you a nighttime routine, what I do on a night where I want to get to bed early, do some skin and hair care, some reading, make my to-do list. And I'm also going to plug in to my iRestore professional hair regrowth helmet.
What?
This is a hair regrowth system that uses a combination of lasers and LEDs to stimulate hair regrowth through photobiomodulation. It can increase just the production of growth factors and be helpful for thinning hair loss related to androgenetic alopecia.
First off, her hair looks amazing. Second off, a lot of these products are super gimmicky. The way that lasers or LED products work is that you have to have a very specific wavelengths in order for them to be effective. And a lot of over-the-counter products are just kind of taking your money because yes, it's a red light or yes, it's a blue light. But if it's really not the right wavelength in that photo spectrum, it's not going to be delivering the benefits that scientific papers have proven. So there's a lot of mistrust out there. Remember that the spectrum of light goes far beyond what we can personally see. What we can personally see is a very tiny amount, but there's everything from dangerous UVA, UVB rays, and then there's also harmless things that we use every day, like microwaves. The ones that are most commonly used, as Dr. Dray mentioned, are lasers. Lasers are actually light amplifications of stimulated emissions of radiation. So essentially it can be very helpful, but it's also very powerful, which is why it normally takes a doctor or a dermatologist or a plastic surgeon to do those for you. Over-the-counter lasers are either extremely dangerous because if you don't have the licenses to operate them, you can hurt yourself, or they're completely ineffective because they're not strong enough to actually make a difference. Now, LEDs stand for light emitting diode, and you might have seen those in blue light for acne, in red light, in clear light, in green light, and there is scientific evidence behind these and how they work. In professional med spas and dermatology clinics, they are these huge panels of lights that cost thousands of dollars, and they are really intense with a very specific wavelength, meaning that if you're trying to target collagen production or killing acne bacteria, that specific wavelength can be tuned in, delivered to the skin, and produce those results. Now again, this is where the stuff over the counter gets a little bit iffy. If you can find a tool or device that has the exact wavelength that you're looking for, it can be useful over the counter. However, there are a lot of products that you'll probably just buy off of the internet, and so they'll sell you some device, and yeah, the light shines red, but that doesn't mean that it's an actual focused wavelength the way it needs to be. However, the things that she uses, I have a tendency to trust because she's someone who does her homework and reads up on literature. So again, I don't know how long she's been using this because her hair looks amazing. I've obviously been out of the loop when it comes to my YouTube uploads. I want to read a book with a spiffy light helmet now. This looks great.
As I've said in other videos before, a lot of the over-the-counter light-based devices, they just don't have very strong outputs. But I saw a talk given by some of my colleagues who do hair transplant surgery, and they were presenting the data on at-home LED and laser devices and showing the increase in hair density and thickness. So I decided to buy one myself and give it a try. I've been using it for over a year now, and I definitely see an increase in thickness and density of my hair.
If there's one person who can make me buy anything, it's Dr. Dray. This woman can make me spend anything. Just take my money. I'm looking this up because I want to buy it. Hair growth helmet. Also, nerd alert, she's reading JAMA, which is a very prestigious dermatology journal. It has some of the best studies that are recently published. I just love to see that. So, the LED helmet is $1,195. I'ma stay with my split ends. Good for you, Dr. Dray. I'll just be gray or bald or whatever. It's okay. It's fine.
And immediately after working out, I take a shower right away.
I take a shower right after working out as well, but I find that my scalp gets a little bit grody, and I find especially for me, I'm prone to pseudofolliculitis and folliculitis, which is essentially a follicle is what your hair grows out of, and itis means inflammation of. So it's inflammation of the place that your hair grows out of. And that can lead to things like butt acne or like odd pimples or even ingrown hairs, depending on how it goes. So I find that I always have to take a shower or use wipes right after I work out. And because of the environment and the current state of Mother Earth, I don't use makeup wipes anymore. So I like to know that a dermatologist also showers after the workout. It just validates my own personal behavior, which I appreciate.
And I take off my water-resistant sunscreen and mascara. I take it off with a oil-based cleanser. I previously was using the Pond's fragrance-free cold cream, but I just finished that. So I'm making my way through good old Albolene. And then I hop into the shower and do the second step of my double cleanse. And by that I mean I take a non-soap gentle cleanser and use it to remove the oil-based cleanser, which at this point is going to be mixed with the filminess and pollutants from the day, all broken up. So I wash that off with a gentle non-soap cleanser.
Perfect example of the double cleanse. Again, if you ever use like a really oily based makeup remover, you're like, ew, my face feels oily, it feels stringy or goopy. Your regular cleanser goes on right after that to remove it. And she specifically mentioned one, I don't know the brand name, but it sounds like it's non-foaming. From a chemistry standpoint, non-foaming usually means that it doesn't have SLS, sodium lauryl sulfates. She's done a bunch of videos on those, which you can look into. The one thing that I noticed, which I don't have a problem with, but a lot of people on the internet just like go off on, is how aggressively someone rubs their skin. I watch a lot of skincare YouTube, and I also have a lot of skincare outside of my YouTube life. But I've noticed that online, people are hypersensitive to skin scrubbing. Whereas in clinics or in offices or in the real world, people aren't as picky about if they're stretching their skin when they're cleansing or things like that. You know, the skin has collagen that supports it and elastin that kind of, you know, helps it flex. So I am also a little bit too aggressive when it comes to my makeup removal, but seeing Dr. Dray be normal in her makeup removal, it's kind of relieving because I'm like, I'm sorry, if I just do this, my sunscreen, dirt, and oil ain't coming off either.
A harsh cleanser can really impair your skin barrier quite a bit, lead to dry dermatitic skin, flares of eczema, flares of acne, flares of rosacea. I mean, really just cause problems in general.
A lot of the conditions that she's talking about are conditions that can either be genetic or that can happen to the skin when it's disrupted. And what she's saying about cleansers in general is a really good point. I think that we're all so interested in purchasing an active or grabbing a harsh cleanser because we want to feel squeaky clean. Overall, that's not necessarily a good thing. Our skin is pretty intelligent. It knows how to self-regulate, meaning take care of itself. And it's when we disrupt things, or when genetically our autoimmune system goes haywire, things go wrong, that we start to run into problems such as acne, or such as the itchiness of dermatitis, or the flare-ups of painful conditions such as eczema or psoriasis. But I like that Dr. Dray brings it up because your skin's barrier protects your inside world from your outside world, and messing that up can of course cause the problems that most people are searching the internet for answers to anyways. So continue scrubbing your face, Dr. Dray.
So for step 1, I use Albolene, and then step 2 is my Aquanil cleanser. I showed all this in detail in my skin and hair care routine, so I will link that video down below for you guys. I wash my face once a day only.
Me too! This is such a validating routine to watch. Everyone freaks out when I tell them that I don't cleanse my skin in the morning. I've done a video on my skincare routine, and from a scientific perspective, why I don't do that. But it's so nice to hear that validated. I'm also really behind on Dr. Dray's content if I didn't know that. Oops.
But I do shampoo my hair, directing the lather to my scalp every day. I work out every day, and so it's important to remove that sweaty, oily film.
Again, you always hear advice from the internet, don't wash your hair every day, it strips it. I find that my scalp gets so gunked up after a workout or after sweating, I just can't. And then this is my natural hair, it's very curly, which means that all of the oils stay at the top. They never get down the shaft, which is horrible. It's very validating to hear that she washes her hair every single day. My little solution to this is just to shampoo my scalp and to actually rehydrate the ends so that my ends are not getting a bunch of shampoo on them. Because the purpose of shampoo is just to kind of strip the cuticle of that oil and that buildup. I don't know if she's done a video on that topic specifically, but I would like to hear her either break down that myth or just explain her reasoning, because I like that.
Because that can contribute to or cause flares of dandruff and seborrheic dermatitis and different types of rashes on the face.
I love this.
As soon as I step out of the shower, I lather my moisturizer directly to my face while the skin is still damp. I've explained this in my skincare routine videos.
So the moisturizer that she's using is from Clior. They're a brand that is formulated with experts, and their whole thing is no fragrance, safe for sensitive skin. She's the one that originally got me hooked on their SPF mineral sunscreen. I told you, this girl can sell me anything. And the reason that she's putting on the moisturizer right after she gets out of the shower is that you ever get out of the shower and your face like becomes tight? That tight feeling is actually dryness. Think about it, when you're in the steamy hot shower and when you're using different cleansers, you're kind of pulling the oils, the natural lipids, the hydrating things out of your skin. And so when you put the moisturizer on directly when you get out, it avoids that tightness and that dryness from happening. And then any water that's actually on the skin can get locked into the skin a little bit better.
Doing it this way while the skin is still damp really is the best way to minimize the barrier disruption that occurs with cleansing, even gentle cleansing. So I put it on immediately. I'm currently using the Claire oil-free facial moisturizer.
She's going in with 2 layers.
Cruelty-free. I really enjoy it. I also love using CeraVe moisturizing cream in the tub. And then...
What is this? Theraplex. Explain, please.
Simultaneously to my body, I go ahead and grease up. I've been using the Theraplex Barrier Balm. This is a really great wintertime moisturizer, particularly for dry, stubborn patches on the elbows. But I put it everywhere. I also put some of this ointment on my lips, the Theraplex ointment.
The Barrier Balm is for dry, sensitive skin. Oh, it's literally got like 3 ingredients. So it's got a special fractionated petroleum, it's got cyclomethicone, which is very similar to dimethicone or those silicones that are super smoothing on the skin, and then it's got a minocrystalline wax. So this is basically a very occlusive product that she applied on top of the other moisturizer. And she should explain, but I believe that the reason that she's doing that is that the first one is water-based and it's very penetrable, so it can go into the skin. The second one that she's using is literally titled as a balm, meaning that it is thick, it is viscous, and it just kind of whoosh, plastic wrap, saran wrap on the skin before you go to bed.
I put my wet hair up in a t-shirt towel and that absorbs most of the water, and then I just kind of twist the damp hair up and put it in place gently with these claw clamps. I'll link those down below as well. At this point my skin is moisturized and dry, so it's not wet. I go ahead and put on my tretinoin, and doing it this way minimizes irritation from the tretinoin. No, it does not interfere with the efficacy of tretinoin.
Tretinoin is a very powerful prescription-only product. Because she's a doctor, of course she has access to it. You might know it better as retinol. Now, it is different. Again, it's actually 100 times more potent than most of the retinols that you find on the market. But retinol, retinal, adapalene gel, retinoids are kind of all in this same family. They're technically called vitamin A. They're oil-soluble and they are amazing for the skin. There are so many professional studies behind this ingredient that we know it works really well, especially when it comes to acne, especially when it comes to aging, and even of the treatment in certain cancers. When we actually get down to the biochemistry of it, it aligns itself in a very specific way that really has an impact on how your skin functions based on DNA and RNA. It's specifically the RAR and RXR receptors within the skin, and they act directly in the sebaceous unit. So if you're overly oily, it can kind of help to stop that, which is why some people get dryness and peeling from it, which is why people use it over a moisturizer, so it doesn't peel the skin as bad, but it's really one of the only ingredients on the market that has been shown to not only boost collagen production, but to stop collagen from degrading in the first place. Again, you can't get this product without a prescription from a dermatologist, so naturally very jealous in the best way.
So that is how I use it. I make sure the skin is completely dry though. But if you put it onto a cleansed, dry face that you haven't moisturized, it can just make it a lot more irritating.
Oh, that's
now,
why.
For my feet, after I've put tretinoin on, I go ahead and put on this foot ointment called Kerasal. This is fantastic if you have dry, cracked heels.
I don't, but that is good to know.
It's also great for the health of your toenails and helping the cuticles stay hydrated and smooth. If you are spending big bucks in the nail salon, stop doing that and just use this ointment as I'm showing you here. And if your feet don't look as good, then you can come back and yell at me later in the comments. But yeah, I mean, it really works well. But the reason I put it on after tretinoin is because it's got a very high concentration of keratolytics. And so the last thing I want to do is to touch my face with this on my fingers.
What she's talking about, a keratolytic agent, if we break down that word, it basically breaks down skin cells. Keratinocytes are the skin cells that are found in your face, in your skin, all over your entire body. And anything that is keratolytic can break down, slough off those skin cells. So you obviously don't want to touch your face with products like that. What's interesting about the soles of your feet and the palms of your hands is that they are the places that don't have hair follicles on your body. There's also a layer of skin there that's a little bit thicker. It's called the stratum lucidum, and the thickest places you'll find it are here and there. And that's why the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet can take a little bit of an extra beating. So I don't personally know this product, but I have janky feet every now and again, so my bunions and I will keep this in mind.
Hey look, I got a new bamboo toothbrush.
Yay!
I'm a fan of these bamboo toothbrushes. They're a lot more eco-friendly than the plastic ones. And at this point my hair is completely dry. I have not combed it. I don't comb my hair until the following morning. And I just pop on this little sleep bonnet. It's like a satin sleep bonnet that I get on Amazon. This just helps cut down on hair breakage. It helps keep your hair from getting frizzy. I sleep on my back, and I do end up turning my head back and forth a little bit at night, and with the long hair, my hair can get really frizzy without this little sleep bonnet.
Again, she's gonna sell me on something else. I don't currently use one of these, but seeing as this is my natural hair texture, I deal with a lot of frizziness, so that's very interesting. Obviously, it makes sense to consider. The other thing I want to point out is that her nighttime routine doesn't have a lot of actives. Again, if you look at some of the skincare routines online, you see people layering products, using 50 different products, using a bunch of actives. That's awesome. That's fantastic if it works for you. It's just so interesting to see dermatologists doing almost the exact opposite. If you noticed, a lot of the products she used are just basic, fragrance-free. The one and only active she used was that retinoic acid, that vitamin A cream. And again, it just kind of goes to show the different philosophies that are even within skincare. There's so many little subsets, and you know, stripping your skin isn't good, but doing nothing to your skin also isn't good if we can harness science. And I think that skincare is best when science and nature come together. I've noticed across the board that dermatologists always play it conservative because they see the worst of the worst. They see the rashes, they see the irritation and the reactions that can happen from sensitizing to a product. And then if you go to the influencer world, you see all of the actives, you see the new fragrances, you see the new formulas, the new textures. And again, which side of that spectrum you sit on is completely up to you and up to your skin, because our skin is tolerant and our routines should be just as diverse as we are.
Anyways, nighty-night. I still sleep with my Sleep and Glow pillow. Totally recommend it for those of you who are back and side sleepers. It really cradles your neck and shoulder girdle well, and then if you want to roll over to the side, it keeps your face from getting squished. But
she just went to bed with like some blue light that she didn't explain, and now I'm intrigued. Do I need one of these? Is this going to enhance my REM sleep or somehow trigger my brain's theta waves? Tell us, Dr. Dray! She also mentions the Sleep and Glow pillow, which I have personally been so interested in getting my hands on. I currently use a sleeping pillow called the Paluki, but I've actually had my eye on this one. And now I've got like 6 new things to add to my 6-month spending list, because this woman can sell me on anything. If there's another routine that I need to react to, please post it in the comments below. And always remember to that like button and whoosh, that subscribe button if you are here for the skin science. Always remember to be beautiful inside and out, and I cannot wait to see you in this next reaction video. Love you guys. Bye.